Laura B at Craft and See with Laura B. How is everyone today? And I'm well, thank you. You're probably wondering what this crap is on my craft desk. This huge mess. Trust me, it's messier around here. But this is my part of the challenge, hashtag Think Outside the Box Challenge, hosted by Tommy at Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. And my medium of choice today, sorry, just looking at this, is hot glue. Yes, I brought out the hot glue gun. Messy hot glue gun. Now, the caveat with the hot glue is you are not allowed to use it as an adhesive. So no replacement to glue down paper, cardboard, etc. However, you may use it to glue down your hot glue to a project. So you understand what I'm saying? So you cannot use it to glue paper. You can't use it on this, but you can glue, because I've done some of these, you can use it on one of these that I've already done to glue this to that. That you may do. Okay? If you have any questions, please drop them down in the comment box. So, let us get started. When I originally did these, I did these in clear, just clear glue. And I was going to use my paints to paint on them. I have done this before in my floating teacup, which actually I haven't posted the last part and the finished part. But anyway, so this is what I've done. And I swear to you, I have a bigger one of the butterflies, and I just can't find where I put it. Anyway, so could have sworn I did. I know I did. I just don't know where right here. That's where I put it. Anyway, so now what I have done is I went ahead and did the more ornate ones. So they, where is one? Well, this goes with this. I hope you can see it. Let me stand up and see if you, okay, yeah. So this one came out of this one. And let's see, I have more like this came out of that one. And so on and so forth. These came out of, I don't even know where the thing went. Oh, out of this. But they are very thin because these are all cake fondant molds. And these are very thin, as you can see. So, they did okay. They did okay. And I'm sure that if I went over and like even, well, let's try it. Let's take out this, this champagne, which is probably really dry. It is dry. Let's see if it'll even work. I haven't tried it. So it kind of works. A little bit. Not really. Maybe I have this, and it's actually metallic wax. I didn't know any better when I bought it. So it rubs off, but it smells really good. So it works okay. And then I got to thinking, let's think. And I got out my metallics, or my micas is what I meant to say. And came up with these two little butterflies. And they worked really, really well, and I was very pleased with them. So, I knew that I wanted all the, I don't know if you call these Baroque pieces or whatever, the more romantic pieces, in gold. So I went ahead and took a paintbrush, a little tiny paintbrush, and just painted the insides. I painted them and painted them, painted them. And since the butterflies turn out, I'm assuming that those will turn out well. And I went ahead and did all the ornate ones and left the butterflies and the birds. So I'm going to get started on hot gluing these. Meanwhile, we'll just do a quick chat. this should go up, oh goodness, the 25th, which I believe is Thursday. Now this is Friday afternoon, well, evening. And, well, I could have done it all day, but let's just say I had a day. I had a day. And actually what I want to do is go over this one because it's not quite even. It's sunken in the middle a little bit. So I'm just going to kind of fill it in. There, like that. Not that it really matters. As long as you get as much in the crevices as you can. So, like I said, how is everybody? How has your week been so far? I'm assuming mine will be fine. I'm filming in advance. I'm trying to get several videos up. So, you know, you never know what might happen. Now, the one thing I will say about this that has proved to be very difficult is, let me keep filling these in. When it came to like all of this, I did finally get one that worked okay. This, they're attached very loosely. So this is like the tree branch. And, you know, here's the upper, and it was very difficult. The first one just kind of fell apart. And so I tried it again. And it worked out a little bit better, but still, the more ornate it is, obviously, the harder it is to... Oops, shoot. I shouldn't have done that. It is hot glue. So as I'm... Luckily that wasn't quite as hot as it could be because it sat there for a minute. The more ornate, the obviously harder it is to get it in every nook and cranny, as well as not getting it all over the place. And I will show you as soon as I finish this. There. Just trying to make sure it's as even as I can get it. So I am not even gonna fill in the entirety of this bird on a branch. Okay. Oops, let's just get right there. There you go. And it looks pretty even. I'll go back over here. And unfortunately, because this little birdie pulled up, some of the mica came off. And set that aside. These well, turned out much easier because, well, for obvious reasons. However, some of it turned out decently despite the ornateness of it. I have this cut on my finger from the other day. It's actually a slice, a small slice, but I had, when I was setting up the baby chick run, I just with the end of some of the garden fencing, chicken fencing, the metal. Now, I will say that your results may be better, and probably will, with a different tip, because it is not the size of the glue gun that matters with this, but it could be the size of it would be the size of the tip. They do make smaller ones, and I found mine and I pulled it out. It's not much smaller because, you know, it's hot glue. It's got to have a, you know, can't have a tiny little tip or hot glue won't come out. But I remembered why I hadn't used it. It's because it's broken. I can't remember if I just got a defunct one and it never did kind of work right, or if it was something that happened. Overuse. Me using it, I do not know. I cannot remember because it's been a couple years. Okay, so we'll set this one aside and then off to this one. Like I said, I'm not even gonna bother with the wings because they're too tiny. Now, I want to know how many of you out there would actually decorate cakes and would use these for, you know, their intended purposes. I am not one. I don't even like decorating cookies. I've always said I don't want to put that much work into something you're just going to chow down on. So I am, now that I am blessed with an oven, a dual oven, you know, the small little top, upper one and the bigger bottom one. Baking cookies is not a big deal to me. But, you know, before this, when you only have one oven, it's like, oh my gosh, spending all that time, you sit there and you wait for it. You put them on the cookie sheet, and then you wait 20 minutes. And if you're blessed to have more than one cookie sheet, great, but I did not when my son was growing up, and I was doing most of that stuff. So, so then you wait for it to bake, and then you gotta wait for the cookies to cool for a few minutes, and then take them off and put them on a baking rack, and then let the cookie sheet cool, and you know, the whole thing. It was just like a pain in the butt, so I was more of a bar cookie maker. Okay, let me put this out of the way so I don't burn myself, because trust me, I will. Accident. Or you drop it on the floor. Or you drop it on the floor. Good night, nurse. All right, so I wanted to show you, so back to the bird. So this one turned out okay. The other one I think I just went ahead and tossed. This one of the roses, oh, I just did again, turned out okay. You know, it's fine. There it is. This one, not so much. This part of it did not turn out well. I gotta make sure I'm filming. Okay, I'd be really irritated if I hadn't hit record. So anyway, I will go back to the ones I did first. And they don't, luckily this doesn't take long to dry. And so you just pop them all out and see, those turned out well. And yes, you're gonna have, because I don't have a super fine tip, it is going to have some kind of, you know, overflow. Which is why the less ornate you do, the better. Now this one, where did I put it? I've got them all over the place. One of them, oh, here they are, the ones that I didn't use. This turned out all right, and I could conceivably use it for my purposes, but, you know, I don't want to. And I will show you in just a few minutes what I'm planning on doing with these. So I made a fabric journal cover months and months and months ago, and decided I was going to use it for all of my Happy Mail. But, you know, I set it aside and hadn't done anything with it. Just checking to see if it's fairly even or if I need to do any last minute touch-ups. And there is a little bit there that I did not get, if you can see that. But, no matter. Oh, no, I like that. And how it didn't pull up all of the gold, heavy gold mica, actually makes it look better. So, and what you can do, and what I, you know, have been doing, is just going through and cutting out the overflow. And I'm really kind of irritated. I'll do the other butterflies in a little bit because I did want to do them. So, if I haven't asked, I know I asked how y'all are doing. And that it's Thursday. It's, you know, Friday Eve. Yesterday was Friday Eve. So, again, and you don't have to do this, but depending on where it's at on it. Like the hot glue, let me, that you can probably see, but let me get a little pointer anyway. Like right here, if you were going to do the cake, this would be open and this would be open. It's kind of open there. Open, open, open. So, but given that it's hot glue, given that I don't have a fine tip, and even the fine tip isn't that much of a fine tip, it's very difficult to get the ornate ones from bleeding over onto the parts that aren't supposed to, you know, are supposed to be holes. Ooh, now this is nice. That turned out well. I like it. I like it like that. I like that. And I am getting the gold all over me. Okay, so these are done. There'll be a nice wash later. Set those aside. I don't want to get them all over my other projects. So let's do the yellow roses of Texas. Now all I had for green was neon green. You know, my friend gave me a bunch of her micas for soaps that she wasn't using anymore. And so I ended up, I had used the paintbrush for, I think, the purple. And so it kind of muddied it. So I made sure to use a little bit more of some color to muddy that green a little bit. So, and these turned out decently. I like them. I like them. There, come on. Hot glue cobwebs, hot glue webs coming off. All right, so I want to let those cool a little bit. I think I did. This poor little guy is going to be a little bit deformed and a little bit looks bald. And what I will do with him, I know they're here somewhere. My little scissors, and if you see them, can you shout out? They're there. No, you can't, because I made sure all that garbage up there is off camera, so you can't see it. Because nobody needs to see the magic behind the curtain, right? Now, if you hear the dove out there calling. So I keep thinking he needs to be cut, but that's just his bald little head from where I oopsed with the hot glue. There. So let's kind of, he's not going to just pull off. So this, as I mentioned, is, the challenge is brought to you by Tommy. Think Outside the Box challenge, which is to take stuff you would normally, excuse me, I need to get something to drink, you would normally use in junk journal and use it completely differently. Pardon me. I was getting a little dry throat there. So here's the bluebird on my shoulder. I gotta be really careful because that little leg's not stuck on there very well. So we'll just kind of leave him. Yeah, that's not gonna, that little leg's not gonna stay on, but you know, when you glue them on, you can make sure the leg goes on too. Anyway, taking things that you would normally use in a different way and using it completely outside the box. Sorry, little birdie leg. All right. And here is the purple bird. He turned out well. And I'm sure all this stuff is gonna look like it's gonna come off. All right, these I did first. Oh, now these turned out well. See the little butterfly? I'm just cutting off the excess where it went that I didn't want it. And there's some more. Oops. Cut off a little bit too much, but that's okay. Scissors moved up too far. And there's this one. All right. So there we have it. Oops, and then the other two butterflies. Oh. So what is everyone working on? Obviously, if you're crafting, you're having a good time. Well, unless you've hit a wall or what you're trying isn't working out, and then you're very frustrated. I've had a frustrating day. I've had a frustrating couple days. But now that I've managed to make a headway on my video, I tried filming a video for Tuesday. It'd be Tuesday's video. No, actually, it's Monday's video, and it went nowhere. Last night, I started at like 7:30, and I was just too tired. Okay, so let me clean all of this up. So these worked out decently. This one did. These were the flowers in this. One of these right here. I don't know. Anyway, and they were okay. I mean, they'd be fine with some paint. But what I'm going to work with are these. Oops, pop you out. The picture frame. And it didn't pick it all up, but that's okay. That's okay. You know, I can go over it with the gilding wax that I have and make do. Kind of cut around this a little bit. Okay, those scissors do not want to work. Yeah. So anyway, I tried to film Monday's video, which is using the papers that we did on Thursday for altered playing cards, and it just wasn't working out. I tried filming too late, and if you think I'm discombobulated on a normal day, whew, dog, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen the last of me yet. That makes me, I want to go into the song. Chicago, Illinois is like a shiny toy. One of these days I'm going to get flagged for copyright. I'll be trying to be really good. Shh. We're hunting rabbits. Alright. I don't know why I'm futzing with this so much. And being that it's hot glue, you have to be really careful with trying to melt anything off of it. You know, which is pretty much a given. Alright, let me try and clean up my paper. And it turned out really well with nothing. The first go round on this one worked out. But I cannot figure out what all this black, what looks like coffee grounds is coming from. That is vexing, if you ask me. There's one of the leaves. All right. Give a quick cleanup off the desk. There we go. Make sure that's in frame for you know how I like it. All right. And what I'm going to do real quick is, this is just water with Dawn. Come on. I can't squeeze it left-handed, or it just quit on me. There it goes. It's quitting on me. There it goes. It's really hard to find spray bottles that work consistently. I bought one for the kitchen, you know, to put cleanser in. And I tell you, I got maybe 12 uses out of it before I just quit spraying. It just quit. Yes, I bought it from the Walmart, but still, I spent more than $2 on it, so it should have, in my opinion, lasted. So if anybody knows where you can get decent quality spray bottles without breaking the bank, please let me know. You know, I don't care if it's supposed to be for industrial stuff, as long as it works. Because it's just irritating when it doesn't. All right. So this is the journal cover that I made for a Happy Meal, and one of the reasons that it took so long is I was trying to figure out how I wanted to attach the signatures on the inside. And yes, I made it about 4 inches. I also sewed in a diagonal pocket there, and this is a double pocket. And so I finally figured out, and it's bothering me because this one's just slightly looser than that one, just slightly, but enough that I notice, is I will just make 2 holes in each signature, like 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, so 6 holes. But what I'm going to do with this, and yes, I know maybe it's matchy, but I just could not think of anything, excuse me, to go on the chipboard with this that did anything with it. I had no digitals I could print out, and I had no fabric that would even look decent with it. So what I want to do, and I am not going to use hot glue to do this, but originally I had wanted to do, and since I'm not going to have enough room, I could go back and do 3 more of these and make them. But I think what I will do is something like this. And where's my other one? Or I could use this. I do not know, but I definitely want to do that. I just decided. Oh my gosh, I made a decision without having to think about it. Okay. So on this, I'm going to use, I'll use the 3-in-1. I was gonna think, did I want to put another glue? Oh, wait a minute. So, oh, I know. As I was drinking my coffee, I was at the mall, and this was back in, actually it was the weekend after Thanksgiving, and I went with a friend to volunteer at the Giving Tree, Salvation Army Giving Tree, and I really needed a latte. And I hadn't been to this mall in years because I just don't go to malls. You know, I'm not Robin Scherbatsky. I am Robin Scherbatsky, and I don't go to the malls because, you know, let's all go to the mall. Anyway, and I wanted a latte. So I went down to the food court. I was trying to find a coffee spot. Well, I couldn't find one other than Starbucks, and I just don't do Starbucks. I know, I live in Washington, and I don't do Starbucks, but I don't do Starbucks. And I couldn't find any latte stands, and there used to be more. Of course, I hadn't been there in 15 years, but anyway. So I was forced to stop at Starbucks, and I asked this kid there, that asked, do you have sugar-free mocha? And he said, no, all we have is sugar-free vanilla. And I was like, I thought that was weird. I thought they were just out. I'm like, okay, never mind. Because I like mocha. I'm not a vanilla fan. So then I walk around and go all the way back down to the other end of the mall, past the Giving Tree. Hi, friend. Hi, Jennifer. Still looking. And they had a coffee shop outside of Nordstrom's. Well, I'm like, I know there's another one in here somewhere, or at least I thought. So back back we go. So I stop at Starbucks again. Okay, are you just out? Same kid. I call him a kid, but same kid. No, just sugar-free vanilla. Okay, whatever. So anyway, I go back to Nordstrom's and get coffee there. And it turns out that, and I found out this last Christmas, you know, a month later, that I knew that kid looked familiar because he's my friend's daughter's childhood friend, and they happen to be roommates now. So, yeah. But no, apparently Starbucks, and I did not know this, and I do not understand why anyone would do this, they don't have any sugar-free flavors at all. They don't sell any other sugar-free flavors but vanilla. What? It didn't even make sense to me. Doesn't make sense to me at all. Anyway, yeah, turns out he was, you know, I knew this kid. And I'm like, I knew that kid looked familiar. So today is day 3 of the baby chicks being outside. Eventually I need to call them hens because they're getting, I can't remember when they turn to be hens, but they're doing well. And this morning, you know, I was snoozing away, and Isabeau jumps on the bed and woke me up. And I looked at the clock, and it was a little bit after 5, and I was like, oh my gosh, gotta let the chickens out of bed, chickens out of bed, chickens out of bed. So I jump up, and I'm stumbling around and get out there and throw the scratch out, open up the big coop, and then go over and let the little chickens out. I'm just letting this dry. And I'm watching them for a while, you know. What are they going to do? How are they going to react? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm standing there, and I'm like, I really need to go in and go to the bathroom, but I'm waiting for all of them to come out and see what's going to happen. So I see Elsa, the matriarch, standing out there, you know, and little Francine, the chick, the blue Americana that Joe named. And she's standing there, and she kind of goes up to Francine in a little bit of a way. She's standing there, and she's not doing anything really threatening. I mean, she's not like posturing. She's just standing like a chicken stands. And Elsa suddenly like looks at her, and they just stared at each other, you know, big hen to little hen, and they're just staring at each other, and I'm watching what's going on. And all of a sudden, it might have been 10-15 seconds that they were staring at each other, and all of a sudden Elsa said, that's it, you little, and just launches at her a little bit and pecks at her, and of course Francine squawks and flies and tries to get away, and Francine and Elsa took right on after her. It's like, see, I don't know if Francine was going up to her going, hi, my name is Francine, how are you? Or she's like going, yeah, Francine, want to make something of it? I don't know. But little Francine learned her lesson. But yeah, it was kind of funny because I was wondering, watching her, just what is going on? What is going to happen with these two? And they just stared at each other. I mean, I haven't seen that through any of the other chickens. That they just stared. But they did. They just stared at each other, and then it was on. So, but I've been out checking on them periodically through the day, and they seem to be doing well. The only thing I'm a little bit concerned with is everything I've read says, you know, these chicks have to be on their specialized chick feed for the first many weeks. I think they told me like I hope that's even, like 16 weeks, and they're only a little over 7 weeks old. but they're hardly touching their feed, and they've got, they're out scratching around on the ground and getting all the you know, ground stuff and the chickens, what they're supposed to do. And so I guess that's okay. I need to get on one of the chicken sites on the web and ask that question, because they're just not touching it, and they're really not touching their water. So, but they seem healthy and vibrant and all that, so I'm assuming it's because they're getting the water out of the big watering can. You know, I have a big auto waterer out there. It's just a galvanized thing. So I don't know. I don't know. I gotta find that out, because it's kind of worries me. Anyway, so here we are, and I will actually go ahead and do another one of those and put it down here, so it, and maybe these on the side. Ooh, I kind of actually like that. I'll just go ahead and do that now. Put them on the sides. Although that one didn't, who cares? Who cares? It's a junk journal, and these are old. This one isn't as full as that one. Do I want them like that? No. I want them like that. And since gold lends itself well to red. So, ladies and gents, if there are any gents watching, let me know. Please, this is my, that's good enough. My prompt, my challenge to you is to use hot glue in a junk journal that is not attaching an element, a paper element to a paper element like that, but is, you may use it to attach hot glue, a hot glue item to anything. So again, you may not use it to put paper to paper, but you may use it to glue your hot glue element creation, whatever you used your hot glue for, to hot glue it to something if you need to. I'm not saying, you know, you can't do it if you absolutely have to and there's no other way to attach. But anyway, so there we have it. Again, my name is Laura B with Craft and See with Laura B. And I hope you enjoyed this. I hope this has inspired you. Please, 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 if you like what you have seen tonight, let me know. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit the notification bell so you know when I upload a video. And please share. And most of all, drop a comment, even if it is just a smiley face. Anything like that will get me noticed more and more by Facebook and help grow my tiny little channel. And with that, I am going to say good night. God bless. Until next time, peace out.